Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please enjoy our website. I'll just do a brief recap before proceeding to the new changes. We have our login, sign up, and the other pages, product, FAQ, contact, and the sign up. I'm just going to log in quickly. Here in our products page, we can only see products which does not belong to me. Therefore, the products I have put for sale will not appear here. And we can search. The others are the same. My product, it is divided into products I own, products in auction. In own, I own this red blouse product. Here we can only see products which I have uploaded for sale, but I have stopped the bidding, or products which I have won at the previous bidding. We can do the following operations on that product. In auction, we can see products which I have put for bid. Let me try stopping one. We can't because someone has already bidded on it. So I'm gonna stop this one. When I stopped it moved from in auction to the own part. I can resell it. It will shift to the in auction part. We can sell a new product. And in my bidding section, we can see items which I have bidded on. So for it is empty. Let me bid on a new product. I'll bid here. I'll choose my price. I bid. And I now have the option to cancel the bidding. The price is refreshed using Ajax after 5 seconds. And the time left is also done using Ajax. I show you that my product now appears in my bidding section. Yes, I can view it. I can cancel that bid, but let me show what happens when another user bid on it. I'll bid, and this user is now the highest bidder. If you view it, we can see I'm no longer the one who bid on it. I have to bid again. In our product page, instead of having only these two type of searches for product, I've added a slider, a jQuery slider in fact, where the user can select his range of product he wants to appear. Okay, let's assume we don't want anything more than 3000. We decrease it and we search. As it can be seen, the car is no longer here. And if I don't want anything below 138, again, only prices in those range are appearing. The code is here. It is purely jQuery. And here we are displaying the minimum price after having divided by the currency rate. Because in our table, product table, every product have been stored in dollars. So we have to do the conversion here. Here is our CSS. I put it in line because we are using it only here. Okay, and the div for that slider is here. We are echoing the minimum and maximum price here. Last time when I presented my query for products, you told me it was too long. Initially it was as follows. It was 45 lines and there was many repetitive items. So I managed to shorten it to 9 lines only and it works similarly. Now for our contact page, we'll see all the contact info for our website. And if the user is logged in, he will be able to report any problem he finds. I'll do an example here. Report. We'll see the table product problem has been updated here. Okay, and the admin will be able to see that problem in the problem table. If a user is not logged in, he will not be able to report any problem. He will see this page. Our contact page is here. The codes are done purely PHP. And we use the form down there. We have an FAQ page where we'll see frequently asked questions of the users. It has been done using an accordion. When we'll click, the description will appear. And the codes are here in our FAQ page. It has been done using Bootstrap, purely Bootstrap. And everything was displayed using PHP. In our drop down here, we have our my profile page where we'll see all the information for that user. And if the user wants to change his currency or password, he can do so here. He'll choose and he'll insert. When he'll click edit, the codes are simple. Our form, and when everything is done using PHP. Another change I had to make was in my products page, where for each item I had a resell, delete, and leave feedback, and here the delete an option button. Since everything was done in the same page, I had to find a way in order to, when I click on a button, only that function is executed using PHP. So I gave a name to each of my forms, and for resell, one for delete, one for feedback, and so on. Therefore, I managed to separate it. The forms are here. As you can see, I gave a name to my submit button for each one.
We've also implemented another functionality where you can send a feedback to another user. That is, let's take for example here in auction detail. So this is the product that the user Gul has recently bought from Hosanna, the previous owner. Okay, this is his new product. Now he can send a feedback to the seller of the product to tell him or her how the product is. We're going to test it out. So simply click on that button and we send a feedback. Here it is. The feedback is sent. Now this is user Hosanna, and here he got a feedback of product Ferrari that you sold. Product is good. You can also check the feedback in notification page. Product Ferrari has been sold, etc. The code which is found in myproducts.php. So this is the button we've been talking about, the leave feedback button, and we're going to click on it. It is going to load this JavaScript method leave feedback by taking the product ID as a parameter. It is going to display that model, and it is going to set this this field with ID prod ID feedback with a value of the product ID. So this is the model. in question, and this is the field which is a hidden field. It is going to get the value of the product ID, and this is a text field for the feedback. When we click on submit, here we get the value of the feedback. We're going to update the product field, setting the feedback field to feedback, and we are also going to query the previous owner of that product using the product ID itself and the auction detail table. And here there is a field which we've set on each user, the feedback notif field. What is going to happen is that we are going to set this field to the value of the product ID of that product. So first of all, we're going to query it. We check if it is empty, that is, there is no other notifications, and it is going to get the value of the product ID. Now it may be possible that the seller has sold several products. That's why we're going to concatenate it with the other product IDs. That is, the user might get several feedbacks at the same time. That's why we've done it. And then afterwards, we're going to update the user table, setting the feedback notif field. We are going to do an essay on this again. Sample test. This is the same product and the same user. You're going to see that the feedback notif field has changed to 85. So we're going to send a feedback. You're going to find that it's the same user that we've done before, the same product. This is the value of the feedback notif for the seller, which is currently null. And when we refresh it, it is set to 85, which is the product ID of that product. Fresh. Now for the good. Here what we're going to do is we're also going to store the feedback in the notification table. So we set the string, the process ID, the product ID, and the feedback, and we're going to insert in notifications table. Now we're going to call the feedback.php file in all files that we have, in all pages, the home page, the products new page, etc. What is going to happen is that each time the user is going to access these pages, it is first of all going to query the feedback notif of the user. Then it is going to check if it is not empty, that is, there is a feedback that has been received. Next, it is going to use the explode method, setting the first parameter a comma. Why? Because it may be possible that the seller has received several feedbacks at the same time. That's why this method has been used, and is going to put it into an array. We're going to loop in the array, taking each product ID. We're going to query the name of the product and the feedback that has been received, and this is going to be displayed in a pop-up. Finally, we are setting the feedback notif field or in the users table to null for that user. So here in products page, the user gets the feedback test. Okay, it also gets it here, the seller, and you're going to find that the feedback notif field has changed to null.
In our website, there are two types of notification a user can get. One for any feedback on his product, and the second if his product has been sold or if he bought a product. All the notification will appear under the section notification. Here we have a drop down which contains all the notification. We've implemented the clear button. All has been cleared. When the user clicked on the clear button, all his entries in the table notification will be deleted. And now for the code, it is done purely with jQuery. We have a function clearNotif here. This is used to get the username. And for our AJAX function, we pass the username here into our clear notification-php. And here it will delete all the entries for that username, and it will return these values. It is here. We displayed all the notif using PHP. We echoed them into a list. And here we inserted our clear notif function. I will be logging in as admin. Here we have our dashboard. It contains all our functionalities. As you can see, the homepage is blank. When we will click on the functionalities, then the respective items will appear on the homepage. I click on all products now. We will have a table of our products for all users. And last time we hadn't been able to implement what happened when we click on delete. So we delete. When we'll give the reason why we are deleting this product, the user will get an email. Click delete. As long as the email has not been sent, we won't be able to use the website. It ensures that the email has been sent before the product is deleted. So we'll wait. Okay. And I check my email now. As you can see, the email has been sent. I implemented it using the Mercury server. Oh, sorry. If I click on all products, you can see that the product is no longer here. Now we'll view all users. Here, we can remove them. Similarly, it will send an email to that user to tell him why we deleted his account. Now for FAQ, it will load all the FAQ questions here. And the admin is able to add new question, like I will add anything here. Insert. If we check our database, it has been entered. And okay, it appears here. We also have the functionality to delete any FAQ we want. Delete, confirm, delete, and it is gone. Now we have our view reports. Here we will see all the problems reported by all the users. We have our table for problems. We also have the functionality to view charts. We can see the user's login rate, which user log in the most time. We can also see the users who have reported the most problems and the categories of products which have been sold the most. It was implemented using Chart.js, and now I'll go through the code. Okay, here for our delete products, we insert new item, new question. It is done with PHP only. And here, for all the functionalities, we have added a click function on it. When we click on that object, it will load the product or it will insert the respective items in that blank page. And when we click on any product, it will remove the class active from the other buttons as if. Okay, for the view products, I think we already gone through that last time. So I'll go, here is a list. Here I've inserted the view users. Here I did not separate it because there would be too many files, and it is not important that I separate it because it is a simple query as if. For FAQT similar style, PHP, reports same. And when we have our model, the small buffer boxes which appear. Okay, and now for our chart, I implemented it using Chart.js. First, I created a query for each of the items for login, category query, problem query. Then I made them into a JSON object, as you can see. And then using the API Chart.js, I passed that JSON object in it. And I chose which type of chart I want, like here I have the donut, here I use a bar chart. Everything is very easy with Chart.js. Now I'll go through the XML and JSON part. As per the requirements, I've implemented it using the DOM, query to XML, and by JSON. So when we click on their button, let me show you. It will load them and it will create their own XML file. Similar, query to XML, and for JSON. Now I'll go through the code. Here in our view generated file, with each button we can load their XML and JSON file, as you can see here, and then we load them into this div. Now for our XML part, in our folder web service, for generate data DOM, I have my query. Then I created my child element, then appended like we did in class. And then I validated the XML using my own XSD, and if it is valid, I printed it on the screen and then I saved it in its own file. Okay, here is it. I'll go through the XSD file first before proceeding with the others. I prefer to group them all like this instead of separating them by complex type or simple type because I find it easier to follow like this. For the price, I put it decimal, product name, description, the string. And for generate data using 2XML, it is as follows. I've added the two-query file here, and then using JSON, have my query here, and it created the JSON file using the array push function. And then I validated using the OPIS JSON schema. And if it is valid, it will be displayed on the screen, and then it will be saved in a file, auction house JSON. Here it is. And for the JSON schema, I've set additional properties false because I don't want any other products or any other items associated with a JSON file. Now I'll show you where I used each of the items. I've implemented a reseller website 3 times, one using XML, one using JSON only, and the last one I made it using an Ajax call for JSON. Here we are. For the one using XML, Our reseller company is as follows. We sell second-hand products at a low and affordable price. The page will display all the items for each category. The XML sorts all products by category. And then for each category, it will show the average price, users, or bidding. Then that web page will be able to get an idea about what are the prices users are willing to pay for a particular item or category. Similarly, for JSON and for the Ajax, I've used a button. When we click on it, it will load the page. Now I'll go through the code. Okay, for the XML one, I've used simple XML element in order to be diverse, to show we are able to use all types of XML. It is as follows. I use the same format as in the notes. And before displaying, we validate it first. As you can see here, I'll go for JSON now. First, we validate, and then we displayed it. Now for Ajax, I have my button. It has a click function, and when it is clicked, we use a getJSON function to load the page. And when using jQuery each function, we went through the loop twice in order to be able to display all the items.
This is the view currencies functionality. So these are the currencies that is present in our website: the currency name, its currency code, and the conversion rate. And this conversion rate is a conversion rate from this currency to the US dollar. Now these are three buttons where you can add a currency, delete a currency, or load the conversion rate. Let's try to add a currency in this table. So we're going to add the euro currency, put its currency code, and we're going to choose a conversion rate at random. As you can see, this is the entry we just entered. Now we're going to try to delete a currency. For this, we need to input the currency code. We're going to choose this one to delete. Click on the currency, insert the currency code, and click on delete currency. The currency is deleted. Now we can also load the new conversion rates of these currencies. You're going to see that this value is going to change depending on the current conversion rate. As you can see, this is the actual conversion rate of the euro currency from euro to the American dollar, which is 1.08. When you click on this button, and it's going to load all these conversion rates to the real actual value. And here it is. As you can see, this conversion rate is approximately equal to 1.08. Now I'm going to show you the code for this functionality. First of all, this is the admin homepage, as you can see here. And when you're going to click on the view currency tab, it is going to load the view currency.php file. Now for the view currency page, we have these buttons above, and this is a div element where we're going to insert the table. This is the pop-up for the add currency button, and this is the pop up for the delete currency button. So first of all, what is going to happen when the page is loaded, it is going to consume this web service that we've created. Now let's go and look at the currency web service. So yes, this is the web service that we've created. This is the .htaccess file, and as you can see, this is how it is going to map the URL, and this is the parameters that we've put, the list parameter. Here it is, and it is going to run this class currency rest handler. It is going to load the get all currencies method, and what the get all currencies method is going to do, it is going to load this method get all currency in currency.php. This is going to perform a query on the currency table, and debit controller is another class that we've created to connect to the database. So in short, it is going to perform a query on currency, and then it is going to return the value. And it is going to make an Ajax call here. In the web service, we've also ensured that if there are errors, it is going to be put in a pop-up. These are the HTTP status messages that is going to be displayed in case there's an error. For example, here as you can see, this is going to change to no currencies were found in case there's no currency. Now, if all the currencies are obtained, it is going to load a table there. This is the table, the heading, and these are the values of the currency field, code field, and conversion underscore rate field. As you can see here, this is the values of the currency table, and it is going to load it there. Now for the add currency, when you click on the add currency button, again it is going to call a web service. Again, this is the URL, the create parameter which we've put here, which is going to call the add method in the currency rest handler, and this is going to call the add currency method in the currency class. Now if all these three values, the currency, the rate, and the code, are obtained, it is going to insert it in the currency table. So here it is, how it's done. Now for the deletion, the same thing occurs. It is going to call the web service, and again this is a parameter in the .htaccess file, the delete parameter, and the code which we are going to use to delete a currency. And here this is a regex expression that we're going to use. And as you're going to see, it is going to call the delete currency by code method in this class, which is going to call the delete currency method in the currency class, and it is going to delete the currency using the code. So here it is how it's done, the code which is used as parameter, and here it is deleted. Now when the load conversion rate button is pressed, it is going to load the script. The spinner is going to be visible, and is going to make an Ajax call to the currency conversion.php. Now in this file, it is going to make a query to the currency table, put it in this variable, and it's going to loop in this variable. We're going to get each currency code, and we're going to compare it with the USD currency code, because we don't need to change the conversion rate of the US dollar. Here it is going to encode the code into a URL, put it in this variable, and it is going to call a web service using Google API. We're going to put two parameters: the from currency, that is a currency that needs to be converted, and the USD currency code. Now this URL is actually a file. It is going to get all the contents of the file into a string, and here it is going to convert the string into an array using the preg-split method, which uses a regular expression, and the second parameter is a string. Next, it is going to get in the array, it's going to get the data of the first index, the index number 1 of the array. It is going to get the string value, and then it is going to convert it into a float type. Here we are getting the exchange rate of the two currencies. Then it is going to update the currency table, setting the conversion rate to the exchange rate here, and that's it. Now I'm going to show you how the website has become after implementing the currency conversion. But before doing so, I'm going to show you the products page before a user has logged in the system. So as you know, each user is going to use his own currency, but what happens if a user has not yet logged in the system? So by default, all the products in our website will be sold in the US dollar currency. So that's why in the products page, all the products will be displayed in this currency. Now I'm going to log into the system. Now I'm going to simulate the bidding process. First of all, I'm going to upload a product. Install a new product. $500. And 1 hour. So here's the product. As you can see, you can know the value to be 500, but actually the value has been converted into US dollar in the database. I'm going to show you. This is the product that we recently uploaded. As you can see, it has been converted into US dollar. So by default, the website is using this currency. If you are not convinced with the number, so this is the conversion rate. First of all, the user Hosanna is using UK pound sterling as currency. This is UK pound sterling, the conversion rate into US dollar, and I'm going to multiply it with 500. So as you can see, this is the value which has been stored in the database. That is the price which has been in UK pound sterling has been converted into US dollars. I'm going to show you the codes for the upload products part. So here is where we're uploading the products, but before uploading the starting price, we need to convert it into US dollars. So this is where it gets the start price. Now first of all, it's going to query the conversion rate. Okay, this is a query, and it is going to get the conversion rate and multiply it with the starting price. Then it is going to insert it. We've also changed the way we uploaded images in our system. So here it is. We've used first of all a string images slash. Actually, this is the folder where we're going to store all our images in the website, and this is the code which we're going to use, the move uploaded underscore file method, which is going to send the file to the folder. And here we are storing the image name so that we can refer it later on. In the My Products page, first of all, we are going to query the currency of the user. So this is a query where we're going to perform an inner join with user and currency while noting the username of the user. We get the currency code and the rate of the currency. Then here we're going to get the currency symbol of the currency. So this is the piece of code to achieve this. We are using the number formatter clause to get it, passing as parameter the currency code. And we also need to set a browser local to achieve this. The symbol is set in this variable. Now here we're performing the query to get all the products of that user, and here these are the products that are in auction. So we're also querying if a user has bidded on it, and if not, it is going to get the start price itself, setting it in current price variable. Then we're going to convert it back into the currency of that user, because all the prices are stored in US dollar in the database, and here it is rounding it to 2 decimal places, and this is where it is setting the data, the symbol, and the current price. Now, as I already mentioned, all the images uploaded are going in the images folder. We're going to query the image name here, and we are setting it like this, the src attribute, to get the image. Now we are going to simulate the bidding process, and we're going to select another user to do this. So this is the user Gul, and the currency that he uses is the euro currency, and this is the product that we just uploaded. So as you can see, the price in UK pound sterling is 500, but it is going to be shown a new price in euros. So this is the price in US dollar in the database, and this is euro, the conversion rate. So this is it, the value which has been rounded into decimal places. Now this is the product details, and we can bid on it. We're going to log in another user. This is Inaya, and she uses the Chinese yuan currency. So for this user, as you can see, another value is shown to her because she uses this currency. the value in dollar, and this is the conversion rate into dollar. So as you can see, so this is the value rounded to one decimal place. Okay, now we're going to simulate the bidding process. This is the user using euro as currency and has bidded this amount. So this is going to be converted into US dollar. As you can see, this is the product with ID 85. And the conversion rate of euro. Here it is, decimal place. This is the value stored in the database in US dollars. Now that's the new changed value. Now I'm going to bid a little higher, and as you can see, this page is going to be loaded with the new currency, the new value. Now this value, we're going to check it. It must be converted into US dollar, Chinese yen, so here it is. Bidding table, the new value 8, which is rounded 856. This is the value in dollar. Now this value has been converted into euros for this user. Here it is. It has been rounded to decimal places. Now let's check the codes. First of all, for the products page. So here it is checking if the user is logged in. It is going to query the currency code and the conversion rate of the currency that the user uses. Here it is going to get the currency symbol of that user, and then after performing the query to get all the products which the user can buy, the PHP code is going to query the current bidding price of each product. As you can see here in this loop, either it is going to get the starting price if no users have bidded on that product, or if a user has bidded on that product, it is going to get the current price bidded. Then here it is going to convert that price, which is in dollars in the database, into the currency which the user uses, and here it is rounding it into 2 decimal places, and here it is simply setting the symbol of each product as well as setting the price in the currency that the user uses. Now when the view button is clicked, it is going to get the ID of that product here in details.php, and it is going to query the information for that product. It's going to get the maximum price bidded in case someone has bidded on that product, and here it is going to convert it into the currency of the user that is viewing that product. Now when the bid button is clicked, it's going to go in this post method, and here it is going to get the price that the user wants to bid, and it's going to convert it into dollars, and this rate is obtained here. Of course, the same code, which is going to get the currency code of the user, the conversion rate of the currency that the user uses, and here it is going to perform the insertion or the update in case the user has already bidded on that product. Here it is. Now if there is simultaneous bidding, what is going to happen? So in semester 1 we already showed you how we did it using Ajax. In semester 1 we used native Ajax to do this, but now we've used jQuery based Ajax, as you can see here. Update auction.php. So how does it work? We're going to pass two parameters, the product ID of the product and the conversion rate that the user uses. We make the Ajax call to update auction.php. We get the product ID and the rate here, and we're going to query the maximum price bidded. That is, if there are, for example, two users that are currently bidding on that product, if a user has bidded on the product and is currently the maximum bidder, the page of the other user needs to be updated according to the new price bidded. So how it is going to do this? We are querying the maximum price bidded here, and in case no one has bidded, of course it is going to query the starting price. Then it is going to convert that price, which is in dollars in the database, into the currency that the user uses, which we are getting here, and then it is going to send it back to details.php. This variable is the current price shown. We simply get it on the field price there, and here we are getting the result that we got from update auction.php. We are then going to compare the two prices. In case they are not similar, that is, another user had bidded on the product, the page is going to be reloaded.
We wanted to show our project is modular and well organized. We have our admin folder, all the admin pages are here. All our CSS concerning the main homepage are here. Our images get saved here, the GS in the GS folder, and all our PHP functions are in this folder. It is not together with the other pages in order to avoid confusion. And for our web service, I prefer grouping all of them here. I put the vendor and to query XML file in it so that it is well organized.